It's the appointed time and we have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Item 1 on the agenda, meeting with the administration. Would the government officials please enter the conference room? Members, if you would like to put questions, please press the button now. The subcommittee is now processing the proposed resolution under, well, that is a subsidiary legislation under positive vetting. That is the proposed resolution under Section 4(2) of the Dutiable Commodities Ordinance Cap 109. The proposed resolution seeks Legislative Council's approval to reduce the duty on liquor with an alcoholic strength of more than 30% by volume measured at a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius with effect from 11 a.m. on the 16th of October 2024 under Section 1 of Schedule 1 of Cap 109. The purpose is to give effect to the proposal in paragraph 65 of the 2024 policy address delivered by the Chief Executive on the 16th of October 2024. Would the government officials please brief us on the amendment ordinance? Chairman, in 2008, we waived the wine duty, and after that, we have become the hub for wine trading, and we are the top. We rank the top 3 in terms of wine auction for brandy and whiskey. They are still dutiable commodities. When we consulted the public for the policy address, we received a lot of requests for reduction of duty rate for liquor. We think that that is conducive to the trading of strong liquor. We have made reference to the comments from different stakeholders and the trade, as well as the impact caused to the public health. In 2024 policy address, the Chief Executive announced the 2-tier duty for liquor. We will reduce the duty rate for liquor with an import price of over $200 from 100% to 10% for the portion above $200, while the duty rate for the portion of $200 and below, as well as liquor with an import price of $200 or below, will remain unchanged. We try to promote liquor trade and boost the development of high value-added industries, including logistics and storage, tourism, as well as high-end food and beverage consumption. In order to reflect the duty rate in the legislation, we have to act in accordance with Section 4(2) of the Dutiable Commodities Ordinance, Cap 109. Because of the lead time needed, the Chief Executive have acted in accordance with Section 2 of the Cap 123, make the public order to give full force and effect to law to all provisions of the proposed resolution with effect from 11 a.m. on the 16th of October 2024. After reporting to the subcommittee, the administration will move a motion so that the proposed resolution will be passed in the council meeting. Before the subcommittee start discussing the amendment ordinance, I would like to point out 2 things. For the alcohol or liquor with subject volume more than 1 liter or with the price with a duty per liter more than $200 account for only 15%. We are not reducing the liquor duty across the board. We're just trying to promote the development of the trade. Second, although only 15% of local liquor will be affected by the new measures, if we calculate the price of the liquor, the relevant liquor account for more than 45% of the volume imported. We're happy to take questions from the members. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Now is the time for members to put questions. Mr. Kenneth Leung, Mr. Su Ka-fai, Dr. Tzit-yuen, and Mr. Kwok Wai-kan press the button. 4 minutes per member, including question and answer. Mr. Kenneth Leung. Thank you, Chairman. Regarding the adjustment to the liquor duty, I support it. With the experience of the wine duty waiver, we see that economy was boosted. I am more concerned about the relevant industries. We see more wine-related establishment upon wine duty waiver. This is an opportunity for us to create more job opportunities, so I support the adjustment. But I have a few points of concern. As someone who cares about youth development, I wonder what measures the administration have to make sure that our young people will not receive a wrong message that we are lowering the duty to encourage them to drink. Second, over the short to medium term, I wonder if the government has any education promotion or campaigns to educate people about the harmful effect of liquor. For people aged below 18, will the administration step up enforcement action? Thank you. The proposal only target liquor with import price over $200. We think that there will not be significant impact on the alcohol consumption among members of the public and young people. We don't encourage people to drink, and we have a series of measures to publicize and promote it. The government has conducted a number of public education initiatives, including educational campaign to let people know about the harmful effects of drinking, as well as the health risk arising from it. The government has also created a website to let people know about the relevant knowledge as well as risks, personalized recommendations, as well as educational tools and resources to make sure that drinkers will change their behavior according to their health conditions. The government also rolled out a pilot scheme on detoxification to provide free of charge counseling services. We also have other schemes to promote these messages. We target all groups of people, including young people, when we roll out such measures. We believe that schools also provide relevant information to our young people to make sure that they know what harm drinking will bring to them. We will try to minimize the effect of lowering the liquor duty to our people. Mr. Su Ka-fai, thank you. I thank the government for lowering the liquor duty. The liquor duty is, well, the liquor duty rate is 100% of its value for liquor with an alcoholic strength of more than 30% by volume. After we have waived the wine duty in 2008, we've become a wine trading center. A lot of job opportunities were created. A lot of people benefited from it. But then, of course, there are pros and cons to everything. We are all concerned about health risks, and we're worried if someone would become alcoholic just because of the lowering of the price. Wine consumption per capita is about 2.8 liters, in 2008, after the wine duty waiver, the wine consumption per capita is still some 2 liters compared to some 10 liters in other countries. The consumption per capita is still quite low. The government is just increasing the duty rate for wine or for liquor with import price of over 200%, $200. I think the impact would not be that significant, but then of course the government must monitor the potential health risks. And we should also monitor the market. If we don't see significant increase of liquor consumption or alcoholism, I think that the government should then consider lowering the threshold of $200 so that more products can benefit. I think that a lot of night markets and catering industries would benefit. We have to strike a balance. I hope that the government will look into my suggestion. In paragraph 7, it is said that almost all liquor is imported into Hong Kong in bottles of no more than 1 liter in volume. However, under the proposed resolution, it is said that if container with volume over 1 liter is used, the duty payable will be calculated on a value per liter basis. Can you explain more about this? Let me give you an example. If I import a liquor of $200 and I pay you $200 duty, then the total cost would be $400. Under the new ordinance, if the import price is $300, then the first $200 will be subject to 100% duty. So I have to pay $200 duty. For the remaining $100, I only have to pay 10% of duty, that is $10. So under the new ordinance, I only have to pay $210 of duty. Previously, I have to pay $600 of duty for importing $300 worth of wine. It is said that the duty payable will be calculated on a value per liter basis. What does it mean? Andy. Thank you. On the market, most liquor is imported in bottles of no more than 1 liter in volume. Some importers may try to import liquor in larger containers, such as those of 10 liters, so that the price of each bottle of liquor would be higher. This is against our legislative intent, as most of the liquor on the market is of 750 millimeters. According to our study, almost all, 99% of the liquor is imported in bottles of no more than 1 liter in volume. That's why we will calculate the duty payable on value per liter basis. We have given you an example in the paper. If the importer import a 50-liter barrel of liquor into Hong Kong, when we calculate the duty payable, we calculate it on a value per liter basis. So if the value per liter is $200, then we will charge a duty of 100%. Say for a 50-liter barrel, if the value per liter is $100 and the total value of the 50-liter barrel will be $5,000, then the duty payable will be $5,000 because the duty rate will be 100%. Without such mechanism, then only the first $200 will be subject to 100% of duty, but then for the rest, only 10% of duty rate will be charged. In other words, the importer will only have to pay $640. Thank you. To put it simply, most of the bottles are of 0.75 liters. This is to facilitate calculation and transaction. Dr. Tzit-yuen.
Thank you, Chairman. I've got two questions. The first is the government is out of cash, so I'm sure you have considered the benefits of the latest increase. So any statistics to show us that with the reduction in duty, what will be the benefits to the whole society? Now, what is the positive impact of your latest proposal? Can you give me some concrete figures? And also, I'm worried about the effect on adolescents. Would it become an incentive now with the reduced duty for them to drink? We're all concerned. And young people will also wonder, okay, now it's more affordable, so it can provide an incentive to them. In the short term, can the government, particularly with the Education Bureau and Labor and Welfare Bureau and youth workers, could they step up their publicity to lay a good foundation so that the incentive could be reduced? I don't think it's hard to do. Can you actually discuss with the relevant departments what to do? Andy. Yeah, thank you, Chairman, and also Mr. Dick for your question. As for the economic benefits, our policy, in fact, in terms of economic benefits, whether it can be easily quantified, well, there are various factors at play. Most important is on the 15% of the highest value liquor with the adjustment in the duty, how it would affect the overall sale compared to 2007 when there was a the overall wave. But now we're only targeting the liquor, which makes up the top 15% of the alcohol on sale. So it's difficult to quantify the effects because now we've adjusted the duty negatively. So we need to know and see the retailers whether they would adjust the price accordingly. And if they do adjust the price in a downward manner, then of course that could increase demand. But depending on the marketing strategies, with the change in the duty payable, it may not be fully reflected in the price. A reduction of $500 may only just lead to a drop of $300, $400 in the price. So that may not be a big incentive in the end. So it's not easy to quantify the effects, but we want to adopt a multi-pronged approach to stimulate the economy, including stimulating the trade of alcohol or liquor. Even though we're only targeting a 15% of the segment, overall segment, we want to maximize the benefits to be derived so that more alcohol products would become more liquor, more like liquor products. And also in the industry and the relevant trades like logistics, warehouses, or even in the catering industry, maybe that could create more job opportunities. So as mentioned by another colleague, there could be some specialist responsible for tasting sommelier. So more jobs in that field can be created, and we can step up our publicity as well. And thirdly, in terms of consumption, of course, we're not encouraging consumption of liquor. But as I said, if the price is adjusted downwards, then that could actually help with the retail sales. And even for tourists, when they are in Hong Kong, when they see the lower rates for liquor, then the price may become more attractive to them. And when they go back to their home countries, or they may want to bring some duty-free liquor back to their home countries. So that kind of consumption could have a positive impact on our society. As for Mr. Dick, you mentioned about Labor and Welfare Bureau and or Education Bureau collaborating together. We are pleased to follow up on what we can do in schools, targeting young people and increase the publicity and warning them about the impact of alcohol on their health so that they can make wise choices. Andy. Thank you. Next one is Kwok Wai Keung. We've noticed that recently the government has made more efforts publicizing the hazard of drinking. There is online messages and also clear slogans plastered on the body of buses warning people that drinking could lead to cancer. That's actually targeting the consumers. And I can understand that now the adjustment in the duty payable for liquor actually is based on the baseline of $200. Looking at past media reports, it's estimated that even though the duty would not be reduced below $200, that means that in terms of retail prices, liquor costing 1,500 or below would not be cheaper. I think it's very clear that you are doing this in order to stimulate business. And very clearly, the country wants us to play the role. So we need to make it clear that you're not adjusting the duty from a consumption perspective, but from a business perspective. Chairman, 2 questions. You can see that in the past, when wine duty was in place or was waived, business boomed. And the industry also mentioned that more jobs were created. Could you give us some figures for our reference, whether it's figures from companies or in terms of employment? And second question is, the adjustment in the duty, I think in relation to that, we have seen discussions about how we can play the role of a super connector to promote national liquor, mainly white wine. How are we going to promote Chinese culture around the world? So I'd like to know more about from you, the administration, besides the reduction in duty. What else would you do to promote the Chinese liquor? Thank you, Mr. Kwok and Chairman. As for about the benefits, let me share with you our experiences. In 2008, when we adjusted downward the wine duty, 2 years later, we carried out a relevant survey. Let me brief you some highlights of the survey. In terms of employment, in 2008 and 2009, Hong Kong companies related to wine trade, in terms of distributors, warehouse operators, bars, hotels, logistics, and so forth, in the 2-year period, that kind of companies increased by 850, bringing the total number of companies to 3,550. In terms of employment, in 2008 and 2009, jobs related to the wine business increased. The increase in the jobs numbered about 1,000 full-timers. So that is the result of the reduction of wine duty in 2007. We hope that, of course, now we're not offering a full-scale waiver, and we are targeting this time at high-priced liquor. But we do hope that in terms of company numbers or employment, we can this time create benefits. As for Hong Kong's role as a super connector, besides helping with the Chinese liquor going global, our role as a super connector and value adder have actually worked both ways. Last week, Trade Development Council organized an international wine festival, attracting more than 600 exhibitors, of which more than 1/4 sells liquor, and many of them actually are from China. And so through the platform, they were looking for more trade opportunities, and the TDC told us that particularly mainland liquor sellers very much welcome the government's policy to reduce the duty payable. And they believe that it could boost their business. And it's a two-way trade, as I said, besides helping mainland liquor go global. And the market for liquor is vast. Like whiskey, not just Scottish, but Japanese, American, Irish whiskey have entered the Chinese market. Based on online information that we've collected, the mainland market has become the fourth largest market for whiskey. And some commerce of businesses estimate that by 2025, that is next year, the sale of whiskey in the mainland could double in volume compared to last year. So as for overseas liquor sellers using Hong Kong as a platform to sell their products in the mainland market, I think our policy can contribute to that. With the adjustment in the duty, well, I forgot to mention one trade, the convention business. We believe that, like the TDC, which organized the International Wine Festival, there could be more activities ahead organized by TDC. And this week, we know that there are some private vendors which would actually hold a whiskey expo this weekend. So if there are more such promotional activities held in Hong Kong, that it would have a positive impact on the business of liquor. Next one, Mr. Luke. Thank you, the SAR government, for adjusting downwards the duty on liquor. Our association has been lobbying for that for a long time. I support the policy. Personally, I understand that with the downward adjustment of the duty, we need to continue to monitor the market reactions and the mode of drinking among the public, and also the moves or reactions of our competitors. So I do think that if there are more other duty proposals that could facilitate trade, our association would support it as well. And just now, administration said that, and the move could stimulate trade or auctions or in hotels, bars. They want to promote their cocktails, and cocktails often are made of liquors. And I've noticed from the market that some hotels already launch some discounts for cocktails. So you can see the immediate impact of the latest adjustment in the duty. And also locally, the convention business has also benefited. The International Wine and Dine Festival is one example. But I believe that promoting liquors abroad is also important. So I'd like to see from the administration, how are you going to, now with the downward adjustment in the duty, how are you going to promote liquor sales abroad? And also, how can you attract more tourists? So that, your original goal is to stimulate our economy, right? Andy. Thank you, Chairman, and Mr. Luke, for your question. Of course, overseas, we have our Economic and Trade Office, which is doing the promotional work. The TDC, their staff have also engaged in work to foster trade links between Hong Kong and abroad. Since the news of our duty adjustment policy was known, various offices overseas have helped attract more liquor dealers to use Hong Kong as a platform to promote the sale of alcohol and also be a center for logistics. And we hope that we can use our mainland and overseas economic trade office to promote the latest policy. And also, in the Chinese market, there is a booming liquor production industry. We hope that with our overseas network, like through our overseas economic and trade office, and then we can also help mainland business people become more active in exploring overseas markets. Thank you.
Mr. Kenneth Lau. Thank you, Chairman. I support the reduction of duty on liquor as set out in the policy address. I know that that will facilitate the development of logistics, warehouse, and other high value added industries. We see that after the wine duty waiver in 2008, the industry boomed. Branding, manufacturing, and R&D are involved in liquor and wine industries. In the northern metropolis, we have such a large piece of land. Apart from acting as a re-exporter, I know that Hong Kong produce local beers, and we also have local wine brands. Have the administration considered introducing R&D institutions to Hong Kong to create our local liquor and wine brands? But then, of course, I know that we are all concerned about the health risks of wine and liquor. We have to strike a balance. Has the administration talked to the trade? And have you looked into it? Andy, thank you. Apart from beer, we understand that on the market there are a few liquor manufacturers. For example, gin. I know that we have local gin that are manufactured in Hong Kong and manufactured in other countries. These local brands make use of local elements when they brand their gin. Are there going to be more such kind of activities? Well, after offering such incentives by lowering the duty rate, maybe there will be more people investing in such an area or engage in such an industry. The volume of liquor that we manufacture is not substantial, and in most cases, the raw materials come from other countries. For wheat, we have to import it from other countries and places in order for us to engage in mass production of liquor. As I've said, we have liquor and wine manufacturers in Hong Kong, although we don't have that many of them. The duty rate applies to local liquor as well, because local liquor have to pay duty under the DCO, that is the Dutiable Commodities Ordinance. So we think that local liquor manufacturers will also benefit. We will continue to monitor the development. As for publicity and education, as I've said, when I reply to other members' questions, we will continue to work with the Health Bureau, the Education Bureau, and the Department of Health to promote the message of responsible drinking to people of all age groups. Thank you. Last, Mr. Kenneth Wong. Thank you, Chairman. I have to declare interest first. I am the founder of Hong Kong Wine Vault, and I'm also a director of a hotel that sells liquor. Chairman, I represent the import and export sector and the DAB. We welcome the initiatives set out in the policy address by lowering the liquor duty rate. The liquor duty rate of Hong Kong is almost the highest in Asia. After the reduction, our duty will be more competitive compared to Japan, Korea, and the mainland. Next to us, we have Macau, SAR, and Hainan province, which is going to become a low tax free trade port. Their liquor duty is lower than ours. In 2008, after waiving the wine duty, the government revenue has not decreased, but the wine-related industries boomed, including selling, buying, auction, insurance, warehousing, logistics, tourism, so on and so forth. So sometimes reducing tax duty would generate more revenue, and sometimes the economic benefit brought about by the reduction could be greater than the revenue foregone. For strong liquor importing to Hainan, the duty will completely waived. The duty rate of liquor in Macau is lower than ours. From a competition point of view, will the government continue to review the proposal? Say, for example, 1 year later, if some of our business goes to Macau or Hainan, will the government review the policy and perhaps further reducing the threshold? Of $200 to make our market more competitive? Thank you. Thank you for the question. Let me take this opportunity to talk about the application of liquor duty. So if you import liquor and re-export it to the mainland, no duty will be imposed. However, if you're selling the liquor in Hong Kong, you have to pay your duty at the CNSD, Customs and Excise Department. So in terms of re-export, we don't impose duty on any liquor. The reduction of a liquor duty this time targets local sale of liquor. There could be tourists who purchase liquor before they leave Hong Kong. Hopefully, by reducing the liquor duty, we see an increase of transactions. Mr. Wong just talked about Macau and Hainan. In terms of absolute figure, our liquor duty may be higher than them, but apart from liquor duty, we don't have ad valorem duty, we don't have sales tax. So our overall duty is competitive. Before a person decides on whether they go to a place, they will not just look at the liquor duty, but also the appeal of the city on its own. If a person is coming to Hong Kong, they would come not just because of the lower liquor duty, but because of other appeals that Hong Kong have. Say for tourists who want to purchase a bottle or two of liquor back to their home country, they will be able to benefit from a proposed resolution. We want to try to boost the liquor trade. We try to maintain the health of the people and to stabilize public finance. We have strike a balance among all these factors before proposing the resolution. A number of members said that the government should step up publicity and promotion. After the chief executive have announced the policy, we have had 2 festivals that are wine and dine. I heard a lot of different views. Some ask the members to monitor the development and make adjustment when appropriate. Hong Kong is a culinary center with cuisine. We need wine and liquor. When we cook, we also use liquor that is perhaps cheaper. The taste and the appeal of a dish is essential to Chinese cooking. Because of our 2 wine and dine festivals, a lot of tourists said that they would come to Hong Kong more often. And they said that they would import Hong Kong or import wine from Hong Kong in the future. Some members said that the reduction would boost the development of logistics and storage industries. The appropriate storage of wine is essential. And that's why maybe we will see technological advancement. After announcement of the policy, we see changes in the night market. Apart from Halloween in Lan Kwai Fong, where we see a lot of people, in general, our night market is still very weak. We may need other policies to boost the night market, but I think that this is a good start in terms of job opportunities. Hopefully, the initiative would help. There being no other questions, if I may remind members, the Secretariat has issued or sent a letter from Dr. David Lam to members. Dr. Lam wrote to me, that is LC paper number CB bracket 2 1400/2024 bracket 02. He is concerned about people's health and the impact of alcoholic beverages. Maybe Andy can give us a response to the letter. Thank you. We have read Dr. David Lam's letter and document. Let me briefly talk about the drinking situation in Hong Kong. The per capita alcohol consumption went from 2.53 in 2002 to 2.87 in 2007, and in 2002 it dropped to 2.29 liter, which is more or less the same as the global average. Compared to neighboring places, including Japan, their per capita consumption is 6.1 liter, Korea 7.4 liter, Australia 7.9 liter. Over the years, our consumption per capita stayed at some 2 liters. This is a rather low figure. But then, of course, we understand that the per capita consumption is affected by a number of factors, including the food culture. But I just want to point out that for drinking-related diseases like other countries and cities in the world, non-communicable diseases that are induced by drinking exist, but they arose because of different factors. We don't have a concrete figure as to the number of illnesses that arose because of alcohol. In 2007 to 2011, there were about 2,000 to 2,600 patients who were admitted to hospital each year due to alcohol-related illnesses. As I've mentioned, we only target the top 15% of liquor in terms of price for the reduction of tax or duty rate. Most of the liquor on the market will not be affected. So we don't think that there will be significant impact brought about by the reduction. We have struck a balance between the development of the trade and public health. We all along have been trying to curb alcoholism, and we don't encourage young people to drink. In 2018, we amended ordinance to prohibit selling of liquor or alcoholic beverages to people under 18. We have been initiating educational campaigns to promote the harmful effects of drinking. Through different channels, we try to enhance awareness of health risks of alcohol. And we also launched a website to promote drinking-related information. At the primary healthcare level, we have rolled out a campaign that is evidence-based. We stress the importance of prevention of illness, and we give guidance to the people. This scheme's been rolled out in the district health centers to help people nurture a healthy lifestyle. Through early intervention, we try to enhance the health of the people of Hong Kong. So I'd like to stress again that our measure have struck a balance among stabilizing public finance, maintaining public health, and promoting high value-added industries. Thank you.
I agree with your points, and I feel that the legislation has balanced various views expressed. As you said, the cheap alcohol makes up the bulk of alcohol on sale. I think they would be more than 85%, I think. Just now, a colleague said that alcohol worth under $1,500, $200 plus $200, the profit may not be as much as 1,100. I hope that various parties can, in light of the latest legislation, make appropriate adjustments in the price. The food and beverage industry in Hong Kong, retail industries are at stake. So if this proposal can provide some sort of help, and as you said, for logistics, storage, or insurance, I think all those industries could benefit and bring much economic gains to Hong Kong. It's difficult to explain it all just by using simple statistics. Last time, when the wine duty was reduced to zero, Hong Kong, on an annual basis, the wine on auction in Hong Kong increased a lot in terms of the numbers. And with the auctioned wine, they led to a revival in the market, the wine market. So I believe that very quickly we will see that the liquor market in Hong Kong will turn strong. But again, you must do a good job with publicity. We haven't had much publicity, and yet overseas alcohol traders have taken notice of our plan, and friends have told me that the overseas sellers are planning to rent places in Hong Kong for auction and also to engage in business deals. And that could bring economic gains to Hong Kong. So members have spoken. If there are no other views, I would begin the clause-by-clause scrutiny. The in relation to this amendment, maybe the administration and members could make reference to the markup copy prepared by the Legal Service Division, LC paper, CP bracket 2, 2024 bracket 01. May I ask the administration and members, when you quote any information from the paper, read out the number, the page number in your document, so that it will be easier for us to reference what you are mentioning. Okay, take us through the paper, please, administration. Yes, I will hand over the time to my colleague, Ms. Jun Ho, PAS, to take us through the document. Yes, I'm going to go through with you clause by clause. The latest change, as mentioned by the chairman in the markup copy, this time the amendment is relatively simple. There are three parts. The first part is that we would need to repeal the 100% levy on liquor, the segment, and also two other parts will explain how do we work out the latest duty rates. The first part, page number 001, on the left-hand side, you can see that liquor other than wine with an alcoholic strength of no more than 30 by volume measured at temperature 20%. That one is deleted and replaced by a new line. You all agree with it? Yes. The second part is on the same page on the right-hand side. There is a triangular sign, which is 1A. We're proposing that in part 1, after paragraph 1, we should insert 1A. That is duties payable on any bottle of liquor with the alcoholic strength of more than 30% by volume measured at a temperature 20 degrees as assessed. Bracket A and B are what we mentioned in the discussion. That is, if the volume of liquor in the bottom is not more than 1 liter, or if it's more than 1 liter, what the rates will be. And after bracket A, if it's not more than 1 liter, then on the first $200, the rate will be 100%. The remainder will be 10%. For B, bracket B, if the subject volume is more than 1 liter, then in accordance with the formula, that is, as we explained, on the basis of value per liter, means the amount of duty payable will be equal to D times L. Before we carry on, may I ask you, now we are discussing the Chinese markup copy. The English copy, if you want to have it, we would discuss as well. If not, I will just leave the Secretariat to deal with the English version. Okay, please carry on. If you're okay, then the next item is on page 0002, 1B. The duty per liter for the bottle of liquor is to be, sorry, please hold. Leung Yok Wai, you have a question? Yes. On the new 1A, it added, talking about volume measure at temperature 20 degrees. What's the purpose? Why you added the temperature of 20 in 1A? Just now, Mr. Xiu asked us about paragraph 7 in the electrical brief. We try to explain the reasons because in the past, when we assess the rate, it is mainly based on the value. Therefore, the rate is imposed on the basis of the value, 100% rate for the duty. And the size of the container was irrelevant in the past. So there's no need for this latest provision. But now, at this moment, now we have incorporated this two-tier system. For the first $200 is 100% rate. And any additional value is on the basis of 10%. So for the first $200, what is the subject volume? We need to incorporate the provision on the subject volume per bottle in order to have an accurate assessment of the rate. Otherwise, as I replied to Mr. Xiu, if you use a bigger barrel or container to carry the liquor because you use a bigger bottle, and even though it's cheap liquor, the value would become about $200, and you could benefit from the new proposal. But that's not the intention of our latest suggestion or proposal. Therefore, we need to impose the duty on the basis of the value per liter. And most of the liquor is stored in barrels of volume under 1 liter. So this will not have an impact on most alcohol sold. The approach of the rates will remain the same. We are just targeting the remaining 1%, which are importing liquor in containers of more than 1 liter. And only for that kind of small amount of liquor products do we need to include this particular provision, and so that we would allow them to pay less duty. And that's why we have this words of any bottle added to the provision. And later on, we'll explain what we mean by bottle and how do we work out the value per liter. Thank you. Please continue. And 0002, page 002, 1B, it says that the duty per liter for the bottle of liquor is to be assessed at the following rates. Actually, it's the same rate. On the first $100, it will be 100%, and on the remainder, it will be 10%. Any questions? Okay, if not, please carry on. 1C states that the value per liter for the bottle of liquor is to be calculated in accordance with the following formula. That is P equals to V divided by L. Okay, no questions. Please carry on. 1D states that for the purposes of paragraphs 1A, 1B, and 1C, if 2 or more bottles of such liquor are packaged as a single item of goods, A, they are to be regarded as a single bottle of liquor, and B, the total volume of liquor in the bottles is to be regarded as the subject volume. Any questions? Not? Please carry on. On page 03, that's the last amendment item. On the right-hand side, you see the number 4. In paragraphs 1A, 1B, 1C, and D, it stated that bottle includes a barrel and any other container, which explained, as Andy said, that's our concept for the bottle.
跟住落嚟呢，
Now, legal advisor, regarding the amendment ordinance, any issues in the legal and drafting aspects? Thank you. The LSD has read the Chinese and English text of the proposed resolution. There is no issues in the legal and drafting aspects. Any other questions? If not, then we have completed this clause-by-clause scrutiny. I think that the government has done much relating to publicity and promotion. I don't think there is a need for us to conduct a public hearing. Legislative timetable. Regarding the proposed resolution, the administration has withdrawn the relevant notice. If the Subcommittee has no other comments, then we would have completed the scrutiny of the proposed resolution. The administration can act in accordance with Rule 29(1) of the Rules of Procedure. Give notice to the Electrical Secretariat. The notice must be given no less than 12 whole days prior to the relevant council meeting. The administration will propose the date to move the resolution. In due course, the Secretariat will inform the members about the legislative timetable, including the date to make a report to the House Committee, as well as the deadline for giving notice to amendment of the proposed resolution. If members have any other comments, you can press the button. If not, then we have completed all our tasks today. Any other business? There being no other business, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
今日嘅會議。